Okay, we got the bill approval, everybody's had a chance to look at the bills. We've got Resolution 2026-1, appointment of mayor. As everyone knows, Paul resigned on the 27th, and I'm acting Mayor Pro Tem. And there was some question about whether there needed to be a special election or not. But the size of our city, that's actually not required, and it's actually very expensive to hold one of those. I don't think the state wants you to do that if you can go there. So, Dan, you kind of chime in on the law on that?
Sure, but that's if you're a class 8, 7 or 8, and you're an 8 municipality, the code simply says that in the absence of the mayor, the chair pro tem acts as such, but then there's a vacancy, which we have here, then the council itself votes for and chooses a mayor from either the council or from the ones that are an elector of the city of Hanceville. But there's no election unless you don't do it within a span of time qualified by the statute. Then it goes to the mayor, and then it's a terrible mess. So,
yes.
Yeah, you're not required to do, and it would be a cost that's very prohibitive, frankly.
So we'll be doing the mayor tonight. Probably, we have 60 days to fill place 5. So we'll be talking, there's some names that's come up, so we'll be talking about replacing that in the next few weeks.
Mayor's done the same fashion. The council elects a member to the vacant slot.
Okay, thank you. All right, Industrial Development Board, place 4 appointment. We had a member resign, and the board has recommended Clifford Denmark to fill that seat. He's seems very knowledgeable. He's an engineer. Lived a lot of nice things in Vegas. He used to build hotels and strip malls and things like that. So I think he'd be a good asset. They recommended we appoint him to that. The ALM 2026 convention voting delegates. There is a meeting in Montgomery, I believe, in May. Is it? So we'll need to elect who goes to that and votes at that meeting. Cullman County Commission invoices. This will be the invoices for the Sheriff's Department this pending. So we'll need to approve those. And we really should probably just auto approve those, but we want to keep the public aware that the police is still here and they're being paid, and that verbal contract is still active. Civic Center's Civic hands. Does anyone want to speak to that? We can go ahead and speak in the work session. You can come up and speak to that while we're doing on Friday. Or I can explain.
Yeah,
okay.
That's good.
So the Hanceville Civic Hands are having an event called Night to Shine. And what that is we have a lot of mentally challenged, disabled, children and adults that like to have a place to go and, a place to be amongst themselves and, amongst their friends and whatnot. So this is from the Tim Tebow Foundation. It's all over the country doing these things. So we have an event scheduled at the Civic Center Friday night for that. I believe there's 67 or 70 children and adults that will be attending that. It's all volunteers handling it. It should be a really nice thing for the kids. And what we're asking the council to do is to just waive the rent on the Civic Center for that night, since it's the church has a contract. The church is actually throwing it. The church has a contract with us, so we really won't charge anything extra for that, since it's that cost. This is probably why everybody's here. Ordinance number 2026-1, Municipal Court Abolishment, and 2026-2, Police Department Dissolution. So, as everyone's aware, the police department was halted around a year ago now, on February 25. And to make things legal, we pretty much have to get rid of everything that's in here. It has to be transferred over to the sheriff department or some other entity. And the way to do that is by resolution. So when we dissolve it, that doesn't mean we can't restart it, but we have to dissolve it to legally move the assets and to move like the evidence that's still here, things like that, to the proper entities to where they need to go. And Dan, if you can kind of chime in here and if I'm saying anything wrong.
Sure, no, glad to. You have, I think officially what you all have done is suspended it.
Right.
You dissolved a police department in the same fashion you created it. It's created by ordinance. So you officially dissolve it by ordinance. So what you have before you to look at this evening is an ordinance that does that. It basically officializes what's already been done. And of course, gets where you, and the ordinance itself tells what to do with the assets, etc.
Right. And you know, you say, well, why abolish it? Why don't we just keep it and rebuild it? Well, several reasons. Like I said, there's stuff in here that don't need to be in here. And there's stuff that if we were to intermingle that with a new department, you just don't want to do that. You want to cut it off clean and rebuild it from scratch. Another thing too, the vehicle assets, people has talked about, why are we doing that? Well, number one, they don't need to sit, for a period of time. Or, anytime a vehicle sits for a period of time, it has problems. And number two, one of the things our consultant mentioned, and this is true, most of them were trucks. And trucks are not necessarily the best vehicles for wet weather and hydroplaning. You kind of have to be careful in the truck. So when we do rebuild it, if we rebuild it, if we vote for it, I think most of us want to do that. We'll be looking at vehicles that are more in tune to, we'll probably have a truck or two, but likely mostly big cars because they're just better in the rain and better for handling all that. And we'll be talking later about what the consultant said, as we start going to rebuild this thing. He made some recommendations of what we can do to actually start back up. So I don't want anybody to think that, once we do this, we're never going to have a police department. That's not necessarily true. We're just going to have to see what we can work out with the county in the interim, see what an insurance company can do to work with us, as far as coverage, because we definitely can't self-insure. You can't do that. So we'll see what level and when we can restart it. So I want everybody to feel confident in that. And the next was the vehicle reassignment, which I already mentioned, just assigns the police vehicles to the various departments, the parking, medical, public. I think that's it. Anybody have any other things we want to discuss? Anything I misstated or we need to add to, take from? Okay. All right, let's call the meeting to order. Dan, would you mind leading us in the word of prayer? You stand there.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we are thankful to you, knowing that you give us the blessings of life. Even the day that we have now, privileges, the opportunity that we enjoy so bountifully in this country, in this state, in this municipality, that you would guide us today, that we would serve you, that you would be those making decisions, that they would look to your word for the guidance they would need. Father, that you'd be with those that are in harm's way for our benefit and protecting us, and that you would guide us and direct our steps always, and that it all would be for your honor and glory. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen. Say the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this time we'll open the floor to public comments. We'd ask that you limit your time to 3 minutes since we have several speakers. And you need to state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Bob Long, I live at 1112 Hanceville Street. I had an opening statement prepared, but Brother Paul kind of messed it up. I was going to say I voted for most of you, but I was going to look over here at Brother Paul and tell him I'm sorry. Couple of things on the some of the amendments that we're talking about. Taking a 1,000-foot buffer zone from a church, school, or daycare down to 400 feet to be able to serve alcohol. That would open up downtown to a bar. I've heard that there's a guy who wants to start a bar downtown. If you guys remember, we had a bar on the north end of town several years back, and it caused us a lot of grief. So I think maybe you should talk to some of the surrounding residents before you just change that and put a bar in there. And personally, I'm not in favor of Sunday sales, but that's something that you guys will have to decide. But I wanted to talk to you for a moment on your amendments. Abolishing the court and abolishing the police department. There's no reason that I know of that you can't, in that amendment, say we're going to dissolve the Hanceville Police Department, and in the same amendment say, but we are going to create a new division, because as it appears, we're just going to shut it down. We may or we may not ever get it back. Every one of you folks ran on rebuilding it, and that's what I expect. And I don't expect to just turn it over to the county. And we're getting invoices, but I don't know what we're paying for. Do they give you an itemized statement on how many stops they made, how many calls they ran, how many warrants they served, how many arrests they made, or anything like that? Or do we just get a bill and we just pay it? Because if so, I'm going to submit a couple bills and maybe you guys just pay them too. All right? So I think before you go just passing these dissolution amendments, why don't you consider combining the two to give some of us, faith that, hey, you are going to dissolve this, but in the same essence, you're going to create a new division. Because that's what we want. When we moved here, we had a response time of 2 to 3 minutes on the police department. Now, from what I hear, I've not had to call much, but it might be 20 minutes or 30 minutes. She wanted us here because in case we're getting older and we have to call for medical attention, something, we got somebody there rapidly. Okay, and I know the fire department runs, but the PD always ran with them. The sheriff's department's not doing that. They're not going to work your recs, okay? They can't enforce your ordinances, so you're going to need a new agency. But I think we should do it and combine the two together. I don't see any reason that we can't do it. Do any of you? Mr. Attorney, is there a reason that they cannot dissolve and create in the same amendment?
Dissolve and create.
You want to dissolve the police department with an amendment. Can that amendment not also say, and in the process, we will in the future create a new law enforcement division?
We would have a problem. I think you could legally do that. We would have a problem with the agreements that we have thus far with our insurance carriers.
Right, and I understand that. And a lot's got to do with, AMIC and so forth.
Yeah, because it would be very, very dangerous to have an operation without, well, you know that.
I do. You can't have a PD or a law enforcement agency without the insurance. I totally get it.
And they have not precluded the future looking at that. So that is available for the future.
But there's a lot of folks that contact me, and we're afraid we're going to get dumped on.
We hear you, Bob.
I know you hear me, but.
And you've known me for years.
Yes.
If we say we're gonna do something, we're gonna do everything in our power to do. If we can get insured, we'll make it happen.
Okay, and not 4 years down the road, 5 years down the road.
That's the plan. Yeah.
We want it quickly.
I will say this, Bob, that is the intentions of every one of us to rebuild the police department, but we've got to take these steps to get this other dissolved where we can go on that. And trust me, we've discussed it, we're working on things, and we're just not gonna put something out there until we actually know for sure what we can do. But that is the goal there. We will get a police department back.
But we want to know it's coming. And I just speak for me and some other folks.
Right.
But the majority, when we all ran, 90% of people wanted that PD.
Right.
Every one of us said
Right.
we were going to redo it. And 3 months from now, or 3 months from the election, from taking office, we're shutting down totally. So we want some assurances that it's coming back. as quickly as possible.
Well, we appreciate y'all.
We'll start working on that ASAP, and in the meantime, you know, I'm gonna start, you know, left off, where Paul left off, trying to get more deputies out here too, in the meantime. Can we get
And find out what they're doing
Absolutely.
to earn the money.
Absolutely. All right, who's next?
Hello, Teresa with the Hanceville Library, Shirley Burden Public Library, and this is fun. We have an adult book club, and we are inviting the community to be a part of it. And what we have done this year, a new initiative, is we're reaching out to local businesses to partner with us. And
Our wonderful director approached us last month and asked us would we be willing to partner with them to be able to sponsor several things in the coming future. So I know that we are doing the adult book club. We are also going to sponsor the summer program, and then looking at doing some other things in the future as well, to partnership with the library to bring local businesses and entities together to go out to the community.
so we thank Hance Vegas Coffee Shop, and we look forward to seeing you at the library. Thank you.
Thank you.
And on a second note, to clarify some information, Chris Johnson, 113 Commercial Street. The current amendment for the Sunday alcohol sales, I believe, is not changing anything any different for on-premise alcohol. There is a difference in the ordinance for stipulations of churches for on-premise and off-premise. To my knowledge, anything in downtown is already available to have on-premise alcohol consumption based off of the current zoning requirements and ordinances that is on the books.
That's the way I understand it as well. There's not a, I don't believe there's a foot limit if it's.
A restaurant would be exempt,
As
yes.
long as it's 60/40, I believe.
60/40, yes.
60/40.
Otherwise, it's a bar.
Yeah, if it's a bar, there's different rules.
Yes, and I don't believe it's even in the ordinance to allow a bar for the city of Hanceville.
Okay, we'll look at all that. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're in the bar.
All right, anybody else?
Dan Davis, I'm a lifelong resident of Hanceville, Alabama, and I'd just like to say that I used to work in construction, and there were times when we started a job, we never had time or the money to do it correctly the first time. But after everything fell apart, we always had plenty of time and money to do it right after everything fell apart. I just want to say that. And I want to say that I understand that it's too expensive to hold another special election. And I was just watching that true story about the Deepwater Horizon oil spill disaster in 2010. And if it's true, if that movie is accurate, it would only cost BP $120,000 to do a proper concrete test before that whole oil spill disaster. They weren't willing to spend $120,000 to do a proper concrete test. Now, also, I'd like to say that as of the 2020 census, there's about 3,200 residents in Hanceville, and 4 council members are going to choose our next mayor. And I would submit to you that maybe Robert, Cameron, Jana, or maybe Kim would like to try to run for mayor. Maybe one of y'all would like to try it. Maybe y'all have good ideas also. And as far as the police department coming back, take your time and do a good, thorough forensic analysis of the failures there, because I've been thinking about that all this time, and I've been thinking about how, God rest his soul, if I was driving my car on the highway and I swerved just a little bit, a law enforcement officer, a good one, he's going to suspect that maybe I'm under the influence of something, and he's going to check me for any kind of substance. And if you think about it, all the police officers that were here, this this young man was right there under their noses. And none of them suspected or thought that this man needed intervention. There had to be a drug recognition expert on the staff. There had to be. And if you think about it, in the past, since 2022, Alabama has had 5 police departments with spectacular failures. Brookside, Alabama, Walker County Sheriff, Decatur, Alabama, and even the Cullman County Sheriff's Office had an alcohol-fueled disaster in Orange Beach, where 4 employees went down to Orange Beach, and it was an alcohol-fueled thing, and only 2 came back alive. And I am not really any more assured of my safety with the Cullman County Sheriff's Office patrolling up here because of that. Because it was a K-9 deputy who was the head of the department. And you can look that up. It's September 7th, 2023, and my condolences are to the families. My condolences to the families. But from what I understand and all the research I've done, there was command staff leadership in the Cullman County Sheriff's Office that said they didn't see anything, say anything, or hear anything that anything like this would happen. But that K-9 deputy, he had to have been a drug recognition expert, and he was head of the K-9 department. So,
We're at time. I'm sorry.
okay, thank you.
You can finish up.
So anyway, in conclusion, please take your time. And if you'll ever do a thorough forensic analysis on human error, most of the time, it's always people are afraid to come forward and say something. They're afraid to. They're either afraid of not being included, or once they get in the club, they're afraid of being excluded. They're afraid. They're afraid. So, if you would, everybody needs an avenue free from retaliation where you can come forward and say, I saw something, I need to say something. And everybody has had that, has either been in a situation where they were coerced, manipulated, intimidated, and even threatened on the job, in church life, family life, or anything like that. But it's most of the time, people are just afraid. They're just afraid to come forward.
We're going to run a different
Okay.
shop.
Okay.
We're gonna run
And I say Kim Newman, she should even run for governor. Because I know Kim. She should run for governor. She whooped Tommy Tuberville. I know she would. Okay. I said my piece.
Sir, what was your address for the record?
Highway 31, I mean, is it gonna be broadcast up on the TV? I mean, I'll tell you my address.
I'll tell him.
I'm down there at the Domino's Pizza.
I'll tell him later.
Okay.
Okay, do we have anybody else?
Yeah.
Hey guys, my name's Bo Pitts. I live on County Road 551. On a different note, I just wanted to come talk about the growth of the Hanceville Park and Rec in our town. We're in a great central location for many, many things to grow here. And I think we're lacking in a lot of that department. And I don't know why. It just seems like for the last 10 years, it's just, the park's nice, but it seems like it could grow some more. And I think there's a lot of place for revenue for the city and everything to come in there. I'm a travel ball umpire, a park and rec umpire, baseball, football. We fill that park all the time. We love it. It's right here in my backyard. And we can't figure out, is the park, is the positions, are they lifelong there? Do we just hire, is that just somebody gets hired and they stay in there, or does somebody just apply and they see if they want to hire a new park director or, new workers? And I know, I got a 17-year-old at home and, she needs a job too. And, I know they don't like to hire, do they hire 16-year-olds at the park? Are they going to start hiring? Yeah. So really, my biggest concern is just, trying to see how we can grow the park and, get a lot of the kids coming back, because I know we're struggling in high school. Seems like we're getting beat in everything, and I don't know where it's starting. If it's starting in Park and Rec, or everybody's just moving out of Hanceville. But when I grew up, we had all the athletes, and I don't know what's going on. So But I just wanted to address that, and maybe we can see how we can grow the park and rec around here.
Absolutely. We've got some feedback from different citizens and some folks in the planning commission about maybe what to do, maybe some things to add. We just have to see what we can do. It's looking better though already.
Good. I appreciate you, Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bo.
Who's next? Anybody? Going once? Twice? Okay, I don't think we have, no, that's not. Okay, you take the roll.
Counselor Powell,
Here.
Counselor Rowe,
Here.
Counselor Shelton,
Here.
Counselor Brown,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Bradford.
Here. Okay, we need approval to consent the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second. We have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor Pro Tem, who seconded that?
Just can't remember.
Thank you.
I don't think there's any presentations tonight. You see the minutes for January 22nd, 2026. The only adjustment I would see on here is the Irish special is March 14th, not May 14th, so we can make that correction.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the January 22nd, 2026 meeting with the correction of the Irish Festival date from May 14th to March 14th.
And I second that.
Okay, I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill approval.
Motion to pay the bills.
I second that.
I have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 2026-1, appointment of mayor. Since I'm in the running, I'm gonna hand this off to you and him this part.
All right, I will preside over this agenda item. The chair will now open the floor for nominations for the office of mayor.
I'll make a motion to, make Nolan Bradford to hold the seat for mayor.
Any further nominations?
For mayor? Can we nominate?
No, it's strictly a council decision.
I second that.
Hearing none, nominations are now closed. Is there a motion regarding the appointment of Nolan Bradford to mayor?
I make a motion that we appoint Nolan Bradford for mayor.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And I abstain.
The motion passes. Nolan Bradford is the appointed mayor.
Okay, thank you. So I guess while we're at it, let's just swear me in.
Yes. You actually need,
Or we want to do it right here?
you actually need.
Yeah, you actually.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that now. We'll just do it up here. That way we'll get tops of our heads. And if you want to come up just like that.
I state your name, solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I, Nolan Bradford, solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully and honestly discharge
and that I will faithfully and honestly discharge
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter,
the duties of the office for which I'm about to enter,
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Item number 3, appointment of Mayor Pro Tem. I'll be open for a name for that.
I make a motion to appoint Janice Shelton as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second.
And I abstain from that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we can swear it in?
Yeah.
I won't put as much responsibility on you as you know that, but I'll do it a little bit choppier. All right, raise your right hand, please. I, Janice Shelton,
I, Janice Shelton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of Alabama,
and the Constitution of Alabama,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
so as long as I continue a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and honestly discharge
and honestly discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Mayor Pro Tem, which you can say Mayor Pro Tem,
Mayor Pro Tem,
upon which I'm about to enter,
on which I'm about to enter,
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Okay, item number 4, Industrial Development Board, Place 4 appointment. Need a motion for that.
I say that we make a motion to replace, fill the vacancy of place 4 for the Industrial Development Board with Clifford Denmark.
And I second that.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, ALM 2026 convention voting delegates. How many do we need for this?
You,
I think there's 1 and an alternate, or 2 and an alternate.
well, and it depends on how many you have going, you know, if you have 5 going, you might wanna do, you know, it asks for the voting delegate, and there's a first alternate and a second alternate. So it's really just 1 voting delegate, but you've got 3 people going, you can always appoint a first and second delegate.
Okay, this is in May. I think.
Right.
How many of us are going to that?
I know.
Robert?
Same school.
Sounds good. Yeah.
We do have until the 13th to fill this form out. So we have until April 13th to fill this out.
Let's take this problem.
I'll make a motion to table the ALM 2026 convention voting delegates.
And I second that.
Have a first and a second, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, Cullman County Commission invoices. They're actually down a bit.
I make a motion that we pay the Cullman County Commission invoices.
I'll make a second, but I agree that we do need to edit and have them give us a breakdown of what they actually do, besides the 6 month.
What was the total? Let's do it now.
One invoice is $1,842.27. Invoice number 2 is $2,014.26, and invoice number 3 is $2,726.46.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Any more discussion?
Yeah, I believe the total is, let me make sure I have the numbers right, $6,583.02.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Civic Center Civic Hands, item 7. This is to waive the,
I make a motion that we waive the fee, charged for the Civic Center to support the Night to Shine program.
So moved.
okay, have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2026-1, Municipal Court Abolishment. This will be the first reading. We have the option to waive the rules and do it all tonight, or we can just make this the first reading and go on and talk about it in next week. Next meeting.
I would like to see how we go tonight.
I make a motion to, does that suspend the rules?
Well, we gotta vote on it first, then we suspend the rules.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That was where you would suspend the rules, then you vote, you have to vote to decide if you're going to suspend the rule.
We gotta, yes, suspend the rules, because we can't vote on it before we suspend the rules.
Correct.
Right, gotcha, okay. All right, I'm getting into my head. Okay, so, Robert, you made a motion,
Just to suspend the rules.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
We'll need a roll call vote on that.
Counselor Powell,
Aye.
Counselor Rowe,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Shelton,
Aye.
Counselor Brown,
Yes.
Mayor Bradford.
Yes. And now we need a motion to approve that ordinance 2026-1. We'll also need a roll call vote on that.
I make a motion that we approve the reading of the, excuse me.
Is it approved ordinance 26?
Right, I'm sorry. Yes, I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-1.
Do I have a second?
So moved.
Have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Okay, the next one is ordinance 2026-2, Police Department dissolution. Be the same thing. We can either suspend the rules or talk about it next meeting.
I make a motion that we suspend the rules.
I'll second it.
Have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do a roll
Oh,
call.
I'm sorry, roll call
That's
vote.
okay.
I'll get it.
We're good.
Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Powell,
Aye.
Counselor Rowe,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Shelton,
Aye.
Counselor Brown,
Yes.
Mayor Bradford.
Yes. Okay, now we can vote to approve ordinance number 2026-2.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-2, Police Department dissolution.
I will second.
I have a first and a second. Any more discussion?
Yes, Dan, I just wanted to be sure on the title of this. It says an ordinance dissolving the Hanceville Police Department. The language is abolishment.
Yes, sir.
So do we need to change the title of this to abolishment?
It'll not matter, but you can, it means the same, and the ordinance name is not necessarily in the body of it, so it's fine.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll need a roll call vote on this as well.
You need a roll call.
Counselor Powell,
Aye.
Counselor Rowe,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Shelton,
Aye.
Counselor Brown,
I'm keeping my word from my campaign. No.
Mayor Bradford.
Yes. Okay, vehicles reassignment. There should be a list at the, toward the end. Not necessarily the end. It's got a blue tab. A blue tab. So these are all the trucks that will be reassigned to City Hall, Fire Department, Park, and Public Works. And I think we can vote on all these as a group, can we not?
I make a motion that we approve the reassignment of the vehicles to all the areas in the city that they're to go to.
I will second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yes. No.
Motion carries. I don't believe there's any old business, report from staff. Anything?
I really don't have anything other than what's in the package
Okay.
for a call on
Okay.
it. I'm
Thank you.
still working on a truck.
All right, Rusty, and I'll introduce Rusty as the new operations manager, and my apologies for not letting anybody know about this ahead of time, but it's come to me on the second day. It makes sense. We did it. So Rusty is now in charge of both Public Works and Park and Rec. Things stays the same except that he's just kind of helping them out, which makes sense because they use the same equipment, sometimes the same people, so it's just better to have one person over it all. So Rusty.
Yes, sir. You have my attachment for public works job details, and it does have the work we have accomplished in CWD Park, Veterans Park, Tucker Park, Hanley Park and the Civic Center this week. Since I took over as operations manager, we've made a big improvement in that direction, and now we'll be getting that report for the park and public works with me. If you have any questions on, my job detail, I'll be happy to answer those. It was brought to my attention to get a quote on our storm shelters to sandblast those and repaint those. The one step was really bad disarray. The other two are semi-okay. The sandblasting to do all three shelters would be $6,500. We only have $2,000 in maintenance budget for the shelter, so if we were to do that, we would have to ask for an amendment to be able to fix that. If we didn't want to fix all three right now, we just want to focus on the one that's step built. It's $2,100 to sandblast that one, and I'm still waiting on a quote on getting those painted. Because they'll be using a direct to metal paint to go back on there for a long lasting tool. It was also brought to my attention about our repaving projects for this year. We're talking about Hopewell Road, which is probably one of our worst right now. And it's a pretty long road, I think 1.1 miles. And that would be a conjunction with the county. Half that road belongs to them, half that belongs to us. I have reached out to Kelly Duke, Cullman County Commissioner, and they have their engineers looking at that, trying to come up with a quote on what it would take for us to repave the road.
So you're saying that we would share the cost with the county for Hopewell
Yes,
Road?
it's going on the road, yes, sir. I'm also waiting on a quote on the availability of their deer patch machine. That's the machine that we use to patch all our potholes in the city with. And they come out and they put their material down and we pack it, and that's how we've always done our potholes. And if we can get them available, last year they were so covered up we could not get their availability. So we're gonna try to get them in here and do that for us, so we're covered on that. It was also a request made from Miss Betty Dover at Dover Realties that they would like to request a street light at the corner of Kentucky and Elm Street. And that would be something you guys would have to decide and give us approval to do. That's where they're developing those new houses in that area. We had our storm shelters inspected. That's part of the $2,000 we have for maintenance upkeep. We did have a couple of issues with starter relays, codes, and they're working on those right now. On two of those, one had a bad cooling fan. And for them to inspect us annually, it will roughly be $158 per unit. If they don't have to do a service or add in components or parts or batteries and things like that. And with a full service with oil change every other year, I think it's $258 a year. So that's just for our general maintenance for the storm shelter. And at some point, we was talking about demolishing the rental house at CWJ Park. We will need to have that inspected before my team can move in and destroy it because of asbestos and lead paint and that kind of thing. So we can't demolish that till we get that inspected. And so, other than my report, that's what I had to add. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
And would you mind getting a price on the street light for Kentucky and Elm? See how much that would cost us?
I'll be glad to.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Russ.
Yes, sir.
Roger, I do have a question for you too. On your calls, didn't they increase a lot for January too?
I'm sorry.
The calls for January, you know, your log, it looks like there was a big increase too, and I was just wondering how that, still the medical stuff?
Yeah, 90% of it will be medical. Yeah.
And the update on the truck, is it, everything's still going smooth with
They
it?
were going smooth with it, they had to order parts and so forth, and once they, get everything evaluated, they'll know exactly what all they got to order, therefore.
Right. Thank you so much.
Okay, council discussion items, anything else we need to talk about? Our website, how is it coming along?
I believe we're looking at publishing or going live, but I believe it's on the 28th. We're going to introduce it by the next meeting. Apogee this week is, I'll just give you a little update of what they're doing now. They're moving all of our files and stuff we have on the old website over to the new website right now. They're just transferring everything. Ty's working really closely with them to get it, and it's going very well. I've been in the meetings with them. I think y'all are really going to like it. It's going to be user friendly. It's going to be a place where if you didn't know anything about the city, just a click and you'll be able to find it. So I'm really excited and can't wait to show it to you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
I have something I want to say, and I'm gonna make it brief, and I know there's been a lot of negativity, about with the city and everything. I just want you to know personally, I don't respond to any of that stuff because I don't want to stir anything up anymore. But just know, people, the citizens really need to be patient because we're working as hard as we can to try to do things the right way, and we don't want to mess up on anything. So just be patient with us because we are going to do our best to do what we ran on of getting the PD back and everything like that. It just takes time in the process to do that. Thank y'all so much.
I want to thank everyone for coming out as well. It's good to see a lot of people in here.
Yeah, and I couldn't add to what Janice said. I was gonna say something similar, but she said it well. We're trying, we care about this city, and we're gonna do right by y'all. You can count on it. Anything else?
We have a chance to really set the standard for the state of Alabama about how policing really should be. We have a clean slate here. We have a chance to set the standard for the state and even the country. We have a really good chance here.
Yeah, it's like I responded to somebody who sent a message to all of us basically, and he was an ex-officer here, a respected officer. And he stated his concerns, and they were all good concerns. And he had that concern about, why are we abolishing it? But think about if you're restoring an old car, make the paint may look pretty on the outside, but if the frame's rusty, you kind of got to start from scratch. And that's what we got to do to really make it right.
Please take your time and don't rush anything. Don't be quick about this at all.
Right. We'll pay the officers what they're worth. We'll do the proper background. We'll do everything the way we're supposed to do. So, anything else? Okay, our next work session council meeting is February 26th at 6 p.m. One after that will be March 12th at 6 p.m. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second it.
Have a first and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank y'all for coming. Have a good night.